Russia resumed large-scale attacks on Ukraine after a three-day ceasefire linked to Friday's commemoration of the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany in World War II. Ukrainian officials say more than 200 drones were launched overnight into Tuesday, damaging energy facilities, apartment buildings, a kindergarten, and a civilian locomotive. In the Dnipropetrovsk region, local authorities said at least 6 people were killed. 2 people died after a drone struck an apartment building in Kryvyi Rih, the hometown of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. 4 others were killed in an aerial bomb attack northeast of the city. Zelensky accused Russia of continuing its attacks after the ceasefire expired, while Kyiv said Moscow had escalated the conflict instead of extending the pause in fighting.
Ukraine has stated that we will respond in kind to Russia. We offered a ceasefire. Unfortunately, after 3 days of relative calm, there have been more Shahed attacks and airstrikes. Activity on the front lines remains high. Therefore, we are responding.
On the front line, Ukraine's military reported 170 combat clashes over the past 24 hours, with the heaviest fighting concentrated around Kostiantynivka and Pokrovsk in eastern Ukraine. Kyiv also said its forces struck gas facilities in Russia's central Orenburg region, more than 1,500 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Saturday that the conflict was coming to an end, a position the Kremlin reiterated on Tuesday. US President Donald Trump also said the end of the war appeared to be very close.
Yeah, I think it's getting very close. The end of the war in Ukraine, I really think it's getting very close.
But Zelensky rejected that assessment on Monday, saying Russia showed no intention of ending the war and warning that Ukraine was preparing for further attacks. Moscow said it would welcome continued US mediation efforts and that Putin could meet Zelensky once a peace process is finalized. However, major differences remain unresolved, with Russia demanding additional territory and Ukraine insisting that Russian forces withdraw from occupied areas.